A friend of mine sent me a Reddit thread about the golf sidekick methods and if they really work.
The hyper reality of golf is what's destroying people's game and stalling them and creating these kind of dingleberry posts, is that you see a hyper reality of golf created by fads and trends perpetuated by people selling a product and using the YouTube or the internet as a marketing tool, and then you get the content creators who don't want to be left behind in the fad, in the trend. Otherwise, people are going to get views and they want the same views. If you look at the content, everyone becomes a copy of a copy of a copy. They all look the same. That's why this channel is a little bit different, because I can't stand that stuff. That's why I started this channel. Now, the reason people fail is because of this hyper reality. They cannot drop it. You have to drop the hyper reality and actually understand golf. The original form is what I'm trying to show you, so that you can actually progress. If you're stuck between the two worlds of hyper reality of golf, made up nonsense, or this, you will never succeed. This is the big difference between players and donkeys. Donkeys get stuck in FOMO land, becoming ball hitters, focusing on minutiae that is not the real version of the game. Players get in touch with the game.
But we're going to talk through the golf sidekick method, way of the player, from breaking 100 all the way through, and how it actually works if you just apply half a brain cell. But what we're trying to do is create a baseline here and get you hitting the same clubs over and over to get more confidentiality and more comfort, to make more commitment. Having only 4 or 5 clubs in your bag is a lot easier to manage in the beginning and get good at than hitting all 14 clubs trying to be a professional golfer. It's completely a different universe. There may be an argument that golf sidekick strategies are not going to help you if you can't hit a golf ball. No strategy is going to help you if you can't hit the golf ball. And this is the most captain obvious thing you could possibly say. It's like saying, well, no tennis strategy around the court is going to help if you can't serve the ball into the court correctly first time. Of course not. You can't start the game. That's obvious. You have to learn the base fundamental skill of golf is to hit the ball with the golf club. If you can't do that, you're not playing golf. You're playing putt-putt, or you're playing swing and a miss. Skill acquisition is always there, as well as course management. This teaches course management and learning how to score and learning about yourself. Away from the course, you learn skills, how to hit the golf ball, how to get the right shot shape. They work together. They don't work separately. It's interconnected. Everything in my strategies are interconnected, and of course, the assumption is you can hit the ball. If you can't hit a ball and you're shooting 135, you don't need my strategies. You need lessons to be able to hit the golf ball. Now here we have still got 200 yards, and I don't have a club that can clear the water. And this is where you learn. Okay, well, let's see. And now the more I hit these clubs over and over, the more competent I'll be with them. One of the most confusing things is people looking for evidence or looking for reasons and permission to actually try something new when the thing that they are doing is not working. Because what has happened is golf has gone from the original and has had many iterations or simulations of the original to come to the point where we are now, where golf is no longer a game of getting the ball in the hole. It's now a game of numbers, a game of evidence, a game of statistical data proving something. No, we have gone so far from the original point of golf of hitting the ball with the club you can into the hole as few strokes as possible to now numbers on a screen, or trying to do something unique and modern and different and be a professional before you're ready. This development has come with data, YouTube, professional tours, and it's created a screwed up point of view of golf where people think they have to play champagne golf, but they have lemonade ability. What I like to do is take your lemonade ability and give you the most champagne golf you can get. We're going to put a bit of brewer's yeast in your lemonade, and we're going to make a little lemon wine. Now, the point of the golf sidekick methods is to learn more about yourself. Get more information about your game, get the feedback, and start to think. Stop and think. That's the most important part. So we're learning about laying up to the right distance. We're learning about how far we hit the golf ball. We're learning about what we can do. We're learning how to chip, how to effectively get it on the green, and we're learning how to two-putt. Very few skill acquisitions that we're doing at the moment, just to learn to get the ball around the course as best we can with what we have today. What we have today is not what we're going to have in 6 months if we have half a brain to think.
Now, skill acquisition in golf is always necessary. If you're going to play baseball, tennis, whatever, you're going to have base level skills. Throw the ball far enough, learn to serve, and learn to return a serve. That's a very base skill get the ball over the net. This is the fundamental of golf, base skills. And the base skill is ball striking, dependent on correct technique and square club face. This is what the difference is between a hacker and a pro. The pro and better golfers hit the ball out the center of the face with good technique at good impact position with a square face, making the ball travel not only less offline, but longer because of the better strike. Not speed, better strike. The speed comes with more confidentiality from a good strike. Less left and right, more consistent distances, and a tighter distance range. So instead of hitting it from your worst strike to your best strike being 35 yards, at a good player would be 5 to 7 yards. That's how it works. You have to chase those skills. How do we do it? Only by getting coaching. No, you're not going to do it by yourself. Going from 4 different coaches, hitting 10,000 golf balls with different thoughts in your head from YouTube and 10 different coaches, not going to help you. One voice, one person, in person, take videos when you're practicing, show the coach to make sure that you're not cocking it up. This is what's going to get you there. There's no shortcut. You don't watch a break 80 video and you can't break 110 and suddenly you're going to be an 80 breaker. That's not how it works. Here we have a very difficult tee shot because we have to carry water. And this may be one of those sticking points which I'll elaborate on next. Now you see how hard I had to try hit that because I was scared of not clearing the water. I might have to introduce a little 4 hybrid here to help me off the tee, get a little bit further because the 7-iron's just not quite doing it enough for me. I can get around the course at under 100, but what if I want to shave another few strokes off? Maybe a little bit longer tee club. Now the reason I am very, very anti these strokes gained metrics and fancy systems people put together with evidence, the evidence points toward helping elite and professional golfers. You are not elite. You are so far from elite. It's a different universe. They are playing Formula One racing. You are still driving a dinky car. So to get your dinky car to upgrade it to an actual car on the road, we have to get the ball around the golf course. And the reason I'm so anti it is because you're going to take on those systems and think you're a pro when you can barely hit the ball. And when I play golf with you, I am now forced to look for golf balls in the trees and the deep rough because you refuse to move away from the paint by number junk that doesn't work. This works. It keeps the ball in play. It makes more friends for you and people want to play golf with you. People do not want to play golf with people that you have to look for the ball in the deep stuff on more than 2 holes around. You're playing a game beyond your capabilities, playing champagne golf with not even lemonade ability. And sometimes that's all we can do. Deep rough, accept it when closer to the hole. The long-term game is to get good, improve along the way, and add to your arsenal. It's not a one-dimensional black and white game. I don't understand the thinking of somebody who thinks that if you play like this, you're only ever going to play like this. It doesn't really matter what I've got in here. We're still going to avoid the water by going well right. Now we leave a wedge in onto the green ski. Now is when we learn how to get the ball between the front edge and the back edge. So we're going from about 50 yards all the way up to 90 yards. So whatever the pin is doesn't matter. I just want to get this on the green. This is where we learn the base fundamentals of REDTIGER, Italian word, get it on the green. We start to learn the distances of our clubs and we get more confidential the more we hit the clubs. It's absolutely phenomenal. Not very good, but it's on the fringe, and that's all we can expect for now. Short-term thinking, black and white thinking is like going to university, wanting a degree in finance. Oh, if I just learn Eco 101, I'm never going to be a financial person or understand the economic market. Huh, where's this? What's the point of this? Then 4 years later, you have a degree in economics. How did you go from not knowing anything about economics to having a degree in economics? How did it happen over 4 years? Wow, super Kang Rang, eh? And we're really living now. We're really getting past our barrier of just breaking 100, and we've dropped the delusion of grandeur syndrome that we have. That delusion of grandeur syndrome is very toxic. It makes us play outside of our ability range because that's what we see better players, or what we see on YouTube, you know, all that curated crap and all the highlights reel of PGA and then the golf but louder on live. It's all, I'll tell you what, if you unplug from all that stuff for a month, no reels, nothing about golf, even my channel, I bet you're going to play better golf just on that alone. As you get better, you're going to need a little rangefinder to give you more specific distances to reach obstacles, to clear obstacles, to reach the pin. That's why I like Red Tiger. Super, super economical price. Magnet on the side, meters and yards, slope function, USB-C type charger, absolutely money. And let me tell you what, this thing is quick and it gets the distances from a long distance. I can't believe this thing is only about $100. Check the link in the description. You've been using this this will be my second year now. I've charged it one time when I received it, and I use it every round. I haven't had to charge it yet. It's phenomenal. Well, if I had hit it properly, but there we go. That's just the nature of the game. It's not going to be perfect all the time. I'm a big fan of adding shots to the par to create your own par, because par is a social construct. Par is the score expected of an expert golfer. So when you are trying to break 100, you want a par 99 golf course. You add 2 strokes to the par of every hole, handicap index 1 to 9. Those are the most difficult holes. Handicap index 10 to 18, you add 1 stroke, making a par 99 golf course. Now, concern may be, but if I do that, I'm going to get stalled and I'm not going to get any better. Come on, man. Come on, John. Come on, John. If you're playing to break 100 and you keep doing that, eventually you'll break 100 on a par 99 golf course many, many times. Now you want to get under 90. There's an entire catalog of videos on breaking 90. The game changes. The game plan changes. Now you add 1 stroke to the par of every hole. Now it becomes a par 90 golf course. Then you add half a stroke to the par of every hole when you want to break 80. What does that do? It makes you think about getting the ball around the green to chip and putt for a par, hopefully 50% of the time. Hey, maybe you make an 80, a 79. Bing! The light is on and now somebody is home. Well, we're on the fringe. We've got a putt for the par ski, mate. And the reason this short circuits a lot of people's brains, and you'll see emotional reactions to it, is because the people have bought so much into the hyper reality and the delusion that this breaks their reality. It really hurts their brain. And the cognitive dissonance is so big because they know it's right, but they've bought so much into the other hoo-ha, wasted money, everything, and they can't let it go. That's why there's a lot of pushback against it, except from players. Players know what's up and they take it and adapt it. Wow, not bad. Not bad for a right-hander. And this is a beautiful golf ball. See, this is another part of it. What the hell do you need these fancy golf balls if you want to try to break barriers? Look at this. Tour stage, 7th hand, got a little cut in it. Who cares? The irony is that what I show you on my channel is not specifically aimed at 100, 90 or 80 breakers. Some of the tactics around the course are. But the general concept is actually, the irony is that it is champagne golf for who you are in the moment. The same things that I show you for break 100, break 90 and break 80 in terms of the concepts will go all the way down to when you want to break 72. It's the exact same stuff. The only thing that changes is that skill level. Further, less offline, more consistent distances. Your mindset improves, your shots you can hit improve compared to where you were before, and this looks different, but at the base level, it's exactly the same. How do you think I can play left-handed? I just took the same concepts I learned right-handed and applied to a left-handed game. On the green. And this is where it goes, right? So 7-iron from 137, I get good at that 7-iron. Maybe as I get stronger and play left-handed more, maybe it's not 137 anymore. Maybe I can hit the 7-iron like 150 now. But that's going to take a few months. It's not an instant fix. And then here comes the main point. Now I come here as a right-hander from 137 and I hit the same thing with a pitching wedge. And the pitching wedge has less dispersion, more distance than the pitching wedge of my left-handed game, and has a much more consistent distance gap between the worst and the best shot. So now I can come here and attack the flag knowing that I've got the right distance for the shot. Completely different when you're starting out. That's just the way it goes. I started out worse than I play left-handed right now. But we don't come out of the womb playing golf. We're not Big Dick Eldrick out of the womb. Even Eldrick could not become Tiger Woods if he hadn't just learnt, adapted, been guided by a coach, his dad, along the way. It's the way it goes. There's no magic pill here. Eventually, you can be the pitching wedge from 137 instead of the 7-iron. Just not today. maybe in 2 or 3 years. You know, when people are finding problems, countering arguments, trying to make up stuff to make it seem invalid, my question is always, and you never see it, what is the alternative? The alternative probably in their imagination will be, you have to learn every club in the bag, all 14 clubs to be a good golfer. Well, of course, but that's what are we talking about there? At what level? Because if you're talking about have to learn every club and be consistent with every club, we're talking about 14 different clubs, and in those clubs there's probably 3 or 4 different varieties. This is what we're talking about at scratch level. Not everyone's goal is to be scratch, and it shouldn't be. Scratch sucks. The fun gets sucked out of it because it becomes about scoring only. Get good at what you can do as quickly as possible. That's going to bring your score down real quick. And if you ever stall, as people think you may stall if you're not going to do 14 clubs consistently, you'll stall at a 7 handicap. Man, nobody can complain about a 7 handicap. The sweet spot for handicap for most enjoyment is 7 to 15. That is the most enjoyment you're going to get out of golf. Being scratch golf sucks. Everybody thinks you've got to shoot 72 all the time. You know you don't. You know the handicap system, but there's nothing you can do to convince other people. And then you cannot convince other people when you do play scratch golf that their impression of what good golf is a delusion. It's a delusion of grandeur syndrome given to them by hyper-reality of PGA, Live, and YouTube. Good golf is under 90. That is great golf. Bogey golf is great golf. Now you will see, I will have a left-handed series where I try to break 90 in 9 days. I gave myself 9 days. Just whatever happened had to happen in those 9 days. Because I tell you what, if you want to sabotage something, you don't even have to go do it. You can sabotage it from your armchair. If you want to go out and try an idea, give it full sincerity, because if you do it, you will learn something that you didn't expect to learn. And that's the whole point of my channel. Learn stuff and then adapt it. If you think something works but you want to adapt it a little bit, go for it. No one's going to give you a cookie cutter method to play golf. If they do, they're lying to you, because there's no such thing, player. There's no such thing. We are freaking far from the hole here in this bunker. I've hit it in the hazard, which I don't like. We've got 243 to the hole. If I can get this out even 100 yards, I'll be happy, because my bunker game sucks bowels. Well, that's out at least 100. Beautiful. Clip the top of the bunker here, but it's all good. The hugest part of this is just understanding it's about knowing yourself. There's no comparison to other people. You're not trying to keep up with others. You're just learning about your game and adapting along the way. I hit a beautiful driver there. Because I've added the driver into the bag, learn what distance I hit the ball. Now I'm going to hit a 7-iron here into my final approach. Maybe if it goes 125, 130 yards, I'm on the front of the green there. And that's amazing. As I get better, I'm going to do this more regularly. But it's a constant snowball effect. You're doing the right things, you're putting in the right processes, the right systems, and you're getting your skill better. There's nothing that can go wrong unless you get in your own way, which is why I say the people who I've mentored who failed, I could tell they did not want to learn, they did not want to do something new. The one guy refused to get shorter irons with more flexible shafts. He was 5'6", and he had extra stiff standard length shafts, or even no, it had an inch extra, and he had extra stiff shafts with blades because he wanted to be forced to swing the club harder to be able to use the extra stiff shafts. That was his thinking. I couldn't get him to use regular or light regular, which he really needed. Every time he picked the club up, it looked like he was like, he couldn't even pick it up. Okay, a little bit right, perfect miss. And we learn we can miss right there because we can chip across the green. Concepts remain the same. Play to conservative targets with cocky swings. Use what you can do, miss on the correct side, chip onto the green, try get up and down. You're going to scramble the rest of your life because we are never going to be pros who are hitting 12 greens around on average. So by nature, we have to scramble. That's why scrambling, pitching, putting, chipping, bunkers inside 100 is so important, because we're going to set up so many shots like that. The more we can get up and down, hey, the lower our scores. Come on now. Come on now. Ain't no rocket surgery. Come on. Some situations are more nuanced than others. I can't go at the hole, yeah, exactly, because my chipping is so unreliable, I might pull it off the green. But meanwhile, I've got all that green on the left-hand side there, and I can get a putt to be able to try and make the par. And these are things you pick up along the way. We're always learning. Now, come on now. This is a reality check for dopes. Sometimes you get a bit dopey. It's okay. Let's awaken. Well, I guess my chipping is way better than I thought. In the hole. Oh! Now players, that's the basis. We're going to form a base, we're going to get better and learn as we go. We're going to adapt our strategy as our skills get better. Never let people who don't think poo-poo your ideas and your way of finding who you are on the golf course. Do it and do it right. You're going to be a great player. Check out this video over here for more information on the way of the player.